Oh, what's up, everybody? God, this weather. Happy recap lunch hour with me, Ryan McGuffey, here on a Thursday. No soft landing for winter because it's not that fun outside, not that fun on the roads, and just not that fun. I'm not a big fan. I'm okay with it leading up to about New Year's Day. My wife hates when I say this, but then on New Year's Day, I'm ready for something new. I'm just not ready for all this. What up, Noah? Good to have you, man. We got stuff. We got plenty of stuff to talk about. We threw a question out on X. Cut, start, bench. Think about this one. We're going to get into this topic in a little bit. Cut, start, bench. I didn't even ask Cap this question. He's looming around here somewhere. We'll see if he hops on today. Cut, start, bench. Next Chicago sports team to win a playoff game. All right. We're not going to get into that yet. Eli Randall, two of my regulars. What up? Just so we know, this is the question. We're going to get into the topic in a little bit. I might ask Cap that question too. I think we all know who the team we're going to probably cut is. I might have a different take on that. We'll see. We will see. All right, here we go. All right, yeah, weather sucks. Some people love this crap. I got kids. One loves it. One's not a big fan. I don't know where you sit on this, but it's November 21st. We've been pretty lucky. I understand that. I'll pinch myself for the great weather we've had, but I'm just not. It's like, can we have a little bit of a soft launch here? Okay. I mean, I got a couple questions coming in that are Cubs related. We'll get to those in a minute. All right. I don't know where you guys live on the weather. I know Cap's not a big fan of the weather. So he'll probably be disappearing again. He'll probably taking another impromptu vacation on me. I'll be sitting here trying to get the band back together over here in the studio. Impromptu. Just saying, it could happen. Something I want to talk about. I read an article here. I'm going to bring it up. So Jory Epstein, she writes for Yahoo. She tweeted, this is what she tweeted. She did an article. It's inside look of Caleb Williams' first week with new play caller Thomas Brown. And my question is this, Cap, to everybody, really. This is what she put on Twitter. When Thomas Brown decided to call plays from the booth, he also wanted to ensure he had an uninterrupted line to Caleb Williams between series. So the Bears designated a headset line just for the two of them. I love that. Like, he's the only one. No one else. Also tells me, it also tells me they're bypassing the head coach, right? That the Bears obliged to that. So my question is, should Thomas Brown have been the OC all along? Did they just miss this from the start? The answer is yes, because you've already fired the guy that you brought in. And, you know, let's give it to more. Jess, what's up, Jess? Fan of the program. This weather would be great if there was football going on. Well, there is tonight. Got a great rivalry game, right? We got Brown Steelers tonight, I believe. All right. Great move. You like it, Randall. You like the direct head slap between Thomas Brown and Caleb. Matthew, what's up, man? Afternoon to you. I do. I think you guys should follow. You should take a look at this article at Jory Epstein. That's Jori. And look at I love, what a great look. It's more of an inside look of that first week that the two of them were together. And I just love that this is a guy that's been on staff who's thinking outside the box as the best way to communicate with his young quarterback. I mean, what's not to love about that? What's not to love? Here's a quote from the article. In his first game receiving play calls from Brown, Williams completed 20% more of his passes than any of his past three outings. The 2024, and then we've talked about this, 2024 first overall pick at his quickest release time at 2.42 seconds, fewest pressured snaps of his career. Now, he admitted to there was no simplification of the playbook. I call a little bit of BS on that. It was more of a simplification of the process. So maybe your 60 call play sheet was simplified to 40. You weren't taking plays out or adding plays in. You just weren't going to run all of the BS that required big picture thinking and maybe personnel that you don't really have. All right, let's get to some of this. Would the Bears IRA promote Ian Cunningham to GM? Ian Cunningham is one of the hottest candidates around the NFL for GM vacancies. Don't be surprised if he interviews for the New York Jets opening or gets a job. Ryan Poles is going nowhere. I know everybody wants, he's very few times do GMs not get a second crack at a head coach. He's definitely got some warts. He's going to have to wear some of this, but I think Ryan Poles is here. Arnie, assuming Flus is gone, will the McCaskies continue to use the choir boy? No Bill Campbell hiring criteria. I think everything's on the table, Arnie. I think everything's on the table. Okay. I think everything's on the table. We got White Sox questions. We got Bulls questions. Randall, I like it, man. Positive thinking, dude. It's gonna be warmer on Saturday this weekend. To hell with the snow. Let's get it out of here. All right. To hell with the snow. All right, let's get into. You guys want to jump to some of this stuff? Let's look at some of these questions. Leonidas, we want full dedication to the O-line unless there's a monster deal. So, yeah, look, let's use the Lions as an example. Championship quality team. They are built from the inside out. Front seven. What every war in a football game is won up front. The Lions built themselves through the draft, both sides of the football. Their front four, their offensive line. Shocking. They're one of the best teams in football. Is Virginia finally pissed? We haven't heard it yet from George, but you would assume. What are the odds the Bears lose out? Poles needs to go. Do they end up 4-13? I don't think they end up 4-13. I don't think Ryan Poles is going anywhere. Can they lose out? Yes, they have the hardest schedule in football. I do think there are a couple games. I don't see them getting swept by the division. I just don't. They should have won the Green Bay game. It'll be a tougher environment up there, no doubt. But I don't think there's anything that's special. Minnesota's interesting this weekend. They've always matched up well against the Lions. I think they are going to throttle the Bears on Thanksgiving. It's going to be a hell of a Dan Campbell pep talk about where the Bears had them a year ago. And depending on what happens this weekend, and if the Bears are throttled on Thursday, Cap on the radio this morning said he believes that Eberflus could be fired. So we'll see. Leon, I don't mind if they end up 4-13 as long as Caleb shows progress and we keep games close. It's all about 18, Leon. I totally agree. And you are dead on that. Let's get into some other stuff here. Astro. Hey, guys, how about the demise of Brennan Davis, Patrick Wisdom, Adbert Alzolay? Health is a huge thing here. Brennan Davis was the next big thing, but he has never been able to stay on the field. Adbert Alzolay's got Tommy John. He's not pitching until late 2025. He's going to get DFA'd, likely signed to maybe like a minor league deal to kind of keep him in-house, while he rehabs. And then Patrick Wisdom, everybody, he was a Cardinal, right, Cap? Patrick Wisdom at one point? First round draft pick of the Cardinals. All pop, really not a great hitter. Just not a great hitter. A career 207 hitter. He had 208 with the Cubs. Had a bunch of bombs. He's kind of boomer bust. I don't know about I wouldn't say the demise of Brennan Davis, Alzolay. I don't think injuries are, they are a bitch. Noah, do you think the Cubs will be good next year? I appreciate all of you and Kaplan. Noah, we appreciate all of you, my man. I do think the Cubs are going to be good. What does that mean, though? Are they 90-win Cubs? They made a couple of minor trades yesterday. I think the reliever they got can be good. I always question when a team like Cleveland moves on from a guy with control until 2028. He had injury issues a year ago. We'll see. Eli, it would be funny if the White Sox won, make up your playoff series. If they won the next playoff game, I totally agree. Phil, the real Phil Sims, as we like to say on this show. Good afternoon, Ryan. Do you think the Cubs will be big players at the winter meetings? Here's my anticipation. We haven't seen the winter meetings be this free agent spending spree in the last few years. I actually don't anticipate that to change. I think trades are more likely to happen. Garrett Crochet is going to be the golden nugget that's hung in front of everybody at the winter meetings, unless some team before the winter meetings begin says, you know what, let's get this puppy done and trade him. I think the Cubs are going to add. I think, look at starting pitching, look at back into the bullpen and maybe even the other high leverage bullpen areas. and another bat to protect Cody Bellinger. Could Cody Bellinger be on the block? There's some speculation there. Justin, how do you feel about the White Sox moves in the front office and coaching staff? I like Chris Fuller's message. The new hitting director of the White Sox. He's only 34. Here's what I like about it. It's more forward and progressive and kind of where baseball is. That's what I like to see. They have a 35-year-old bench coach. I've been saying I want to see more experience on the bench, on the staff. But Will Venable, from at least on as experiences as they get, not in the manager seat, but in terms of being in the game and knowing what's right, I like what I see. I don't anticipate it to equate to a lot of wins this year. Their roster is going to stink. They're going to have a lot of guys that they're going to need to develop. Colson Montgomery was on a Zoom with a lot of us yesterday. Love everything about what this kid says. I hope he's good. I do. He's pissed off about how his season went. He's frustrated. He used the word fail multiple times. I asked him a question about whether or not being not called up in a season where he could easily have been called up, even with a frustrating year at Charlotte, actually was a good thing. He said no one had asked him that question, and he understood it, understood why that could be a good thing. He's going to take it into a clean slate. Astro, I like the Bulls' offense so far. You know what? Blow this whole thing up. It's all bad. I mean, when Doris Burke is calling out Josh Giddey's defense, saying there's just no effort whatsoever. Phil, what will it take for the White Sox to be sold? I think we all know the answer to that. Okay. Jerry Reinsdorf is not selling the White Sox. Eli, who will win a playoff game or series first? The Bears or the White Sox? All right, let's get into start bench cut. Who will be the next Chicago team to win? Not go to, win a playoff game. Not go to the playoffs. Just so everyone, and we black a lot of this stuff out. The last team to win a playoff game in Chicago was the 2021 Chicago White Sox. That's the last team that's won a playoff game. That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Let's see here. A lot of Bear stuff. Let's see here. All right. So Eli, back to your question. First to win a playoff game, Bears or White Sox? This better be the Bears, because I don't see the White Sox being in a situation where they're going to be in position to even compete for a playoff spot until at least 2027. So I'm kind of answering our question here. Start bench cut. Do you cut the Chicago White Sox? I don't know. Randall wants to know if the Blackhawks should fire Luke Richardson. I don't like the regression. You got your best player in a slump. He can't score goals. Connor Bedard. So I don't know. I think you got to look at it. Not a big fire guys to fire them, because where are the Blackhawks really going right now? I think they're a couple of years away. But I've heard this discussion. I will say that. Uncle wants to give me what do we got here? Is this what did you comment about this on the podcast on YouTube? Me and BA recorded a podcast. It dropped. It's on the channel about trading Garrett Crochet. Edgar, Carroll, Corey Lee are your catchers. Ben Rice at first. Bryce Matthews at second. Terramar Johnson and Colson at short. Brady House at third. Owen Cassidy with the Cubs. Spencer Jones and win 2 World Series. Do you know much? How are we getting all these guys, by the way? Trading Luis Robert for Bryce Matthews and Spencer. Who wants to give high-end talent for Luis Robert right now? You're on Brian Anderson's team on this one. I eat most of Benny's contract and moving for Terramar Johnson. People aren't giving up big names or high ceiling prospects for bad money. Thomas, looks like the Bears will be the Lions' turkey. Yeah, Eberflus might be too. We're going to see how that ends up. Young thinks the Bears should hire Cap for the head coaching job. That's interesting. Cap can win a room as long as Cap hires a great staff. The key to being a CEO is you got to hire smarter people around you. And I do know one thing. Cap will win the press conference. He'll win the room. When you look at a game ball situation handout at the end of a game, Cap will be fired up, win or lose, in that post-game locker room. He won't be asking, did we play complimentary football, right? We did all the little things, right? That's not Cap. Cap would fire people up. Mark, I'd agree. If we lose Sunday, get smoked by the Lions, that could be it for Flus.
I said on the radio, he's going down on the mini bye if they get drilled.
Cap chiming in for the Peanut Gallery. If he had been listening about 7 minutes ago, I said earlier today on the radio show that yes, in fact, that's what he said. He was doing things. Uncle Ted, Brady House is a must. You can happily join us. There's another mic right here if you'd like to. See hi. Brady House is a must. The Nationals signed Bregman. The White Sox have their monster hot corner they need. Uncle Ted, man, I like where your head's at. Davis to the White Sox. You guys, you got big. Hey, hi, Cap. Look who's here.
Hi. Wait, who to the White Sox?
Okay, so Uncle
He better not make more than a league minimum or they're not going to sign him.
Uncle Ted has got big plans for the White Sox when you go up here and look at his young lineup that's going to be
Brady House.
Dude, he's going with some of the youngest high-end talent in the game. So I don't know where the White Sox are getting all of these guys because they don't have talent to trade for a lot of them.
What wait a minute. Owen Casey?
That's what I'm saying.
Where are you getting Owen Casey from?
Maybe Garrett Crochet?
Cubs are not trading for Garrett Crochet.
Well, it's because they're weak.
No, because we're going to sign Roki Sasaki and Max Fried.
What are you going to do about that middling average lineup of yours?
The lineup's going to be just fine.
Okay, Cap. What do we got? I trade Crochet for Clark Schmidt, Ben Rice, Spencer Jones. Wait, hang on for a second. Hang on. I want to see what you're thinking here. I want to see what our guy is thinking. While we continue to answer. Okay, Walter Jenkins. Wait a minute for a second. Okay, Clark Schmidt. I thought he said, so Clark Schmidt. Where are you at here, kid? Okay, you're not taking like the top 3 prospects in baseball. Ben Rice, Spencer Jones. Okay. The guy's got a plan. I don't think
What's
it's going to
his name?
Uncle Ted.
Uncle Ted.
It's Ted Williams. He's still alive, remember?
Just come on over to the dark side, kid.
Doesn't Brennan Davis prove that you cannot put all faith in prospects? Hoyer seems 1,000%. You know what prospects are? Prospects.
Guys that have never done it.
The White Sox have put their whole rebuild in prospects, and look what happened there. Jason, friend of the program, do you think the return for Crochet will end up better than the return for Sale?
No.
What do you mean no? It has to.
Oh, my God. Okay. You're not getting Michael Kopech level, Yoan Moncada level. I don't know who the other busts were that you took in that deal. You're not getting that. You're not.
All right.
You get good players.
This is the same guy that told me Quintana would not get traded for high-end prospects. It didn't work out. I mean,
yeah, it was a horrible deal.
Dylan Cease was not a horrible deal. He was 4th in the Cy Young.
Horrible deal for the Cubs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm telling you, don't think what's the highest ranked prospect the White Sox will get? You think for Garrett Crochet?
You'll get.
I want the number. What's the highest?
You'll get one top 50 prospect.
I want the number.
35. You're not getting like a top 5 player in the game in the minor leagues.
You want to bet? You want to bet a lunch? I'll pay.
Top 5.
No, I'll take 34 and up. You take 35 and below. I'm giving you the field.
Done.
Or do I get 35 and up? You get 36 and below.
No, I get 35 and below. You get 34 and up.
35 and below. 35. Bryce Eldridge of the Giants are not making a trade with him anyway. Fine. I get Owen Cassie though, just in case, because I'm telling you right now, I think the Baltimore Orioles are very. Did you see what? Why am I blanking? Big former GM of Jim Bowden. Did you see what he had a message for the Baltimore Orioles about falling in love? And if you fall in love with your bats and your prospects, all it does is get you fired. And now's the time to trade for Garrett Crochet. And he mentioned Kobe Mayo and others by name. And that's the team I've been saying for 2 effing years that matches up best with the White Sox.
We'll find out if your GM has that ability.
Why do the Bears have redundant coaches on staff, OC, and a pass game coordinator, offensive quality control, and a run game? Isn't that supposed to hide that flu? Jess, I love where you're going here, but look at like most offensive.
You want to know what I learned today? That this hiring of Shane Waldron was a 100% Matt Eberflus hire.
Heard that. Yep.
And that he did not want Cliff Kingsbury because he did not want a big personality that the fan base would want to replace him with.
Then why is the man still here? I'm talking about Flus. Like the fact that came out. No.
Once, and I don't disagree with you, once they went down the road to get an OC, they'd already made the decision that Flus was staying. Harbaugh was already in Los Angeles. There was no candidate out there to get. And they said, okay, you can have who you want. And he wanted somebody that had a very vanilla persona and personality.
Mike has the best answer so far. Brett Dietz for head coach.
Who?
Yeah, the guy who's turned around and been the most successful. Coach Nick better watch out. The legend.
Where's Brett Dietz at?
DePaul. First round bye. 10-0. 8th in the country.
Oh, wow.
Give me that. Oh, wow. Shit. Where's Hamlin?
I don't know.
They're probably folding their football program.
I'm not looking to get the Hamlin coach here.
Bears, if they can get, I would take a guy that can inspire people, which really, quite frankly, at this point, is anything with a pulse.
You know who I'd take? Dan Lanning.
Oh, now you're hiring Oregon's guy? I thought you said you didn't want a college coach like a month ago.
I said the only college coach I would take is Dan Lanning.
You said you don't want a college coach.
I want a proven head coach. I would prefer to go get Vrabel.
Okay.
I would interview Brian Flores. I would talk to Belichick.
Dan Lanning's going to cost $100 million.
No question.
Okay, so we know that's not happening.
Right.
Thomas finally answering the actual question. Bench or start, bench, cut. Which Chicago team will be the next to win a playoff game? Not go to, win.
Oh, it's the Cubs.
Everybody seems so sure. So basically, well, I mean, right now we know the Bears aren't going to. The Hawks and Bulls aren't going to do anything. The Sox aren't going to do anything. So the Cubs, because their season's coming up next, if they go 83-79.
Cubs are going to win the division next year.
Oh, my God.
Telling you.
This guy, I didn't know.
They actually may make a little bit of a run with their pitching.
It is 5 o'clock somewhere. Wouldn't the answer to who wins the next playoff game be the Chicago soccer team? Let's call it the Big Four. Let's call it the Big Four sports.
Yeah, let's just call it, the Big Four sports.
No offense.
Sorry there, buddy.
Blackhawks are the worst team in the NHL again. Do you dump Bedard? And are you? Hey, Astros. Hey, if you're driving, Cap, you want to do your line here?
Yeah, if you're out on the roads right now, hand your keys to someone and get away from the wheel, because I don't want you on the same roads my wife and kids drive on, because you're a maniac.
Justin, this is for you and Cap. Turkey or ham? Easy. I think I know the answer to Cap, which is insane.
Actually, it would be beef tenderloin for me.
That's not the question.
I'm not.
Stop going.
I'll eat a little turkey. Not a huge ham guy. I'll eat a little. I like it in an omelet.
The question is turkey or ham?
Then it's turkey.
Okay. At least we agree on that.
But I'm not. I think turkey's the most overrated food. Overrated. Beef tenderloin. I'll be cooking.
Hey, not everyone can shop at the high end of Costco. You know what I mean?
I go to Costco. That's exactly right. Best beef tenderloin.
Would George be afraid of Mike Vrabel? He's the obvious leader of men. I think the answer is yes. Lou, aren't they supposed to get destroyed by the Lions, though? Why should we believe that would be the final straw? Because if they look like they did... Hi, Lou, by the way. How are you, my man?
Lou Melgarejo, the greatest. That guy is the greatest in the world. He was our director for so many years.
If they look like the Jaguars did last weekend, he gone. If it's competitive 28-23.
Right, but if they lose on Thanksgiving like 52-6, bye-bye. 10 days off, bye-bye.
Yeah, a lot going on. Phil, I wouldn't hire a head. Man, we got all sports being talked about here. Yeah, I hear Bulls will be look at this. We're spraying all fields. Bulls will be the last seed.
What was the other one?
The real Phil Simms? That's what I call him.
I wouldn't hire a coach that coached the team to the most points in NHL history, blows a 3-1 lead to the AC to Panthers, and then gets eliminated by the same team next season and loses his team. Who's he talking about?
Help us out, Phil.
Who are you talking about?
Just watch, Cap. He's coming after you from a comment you made. Mark, I think the next team in town to win a playoff game will be the Cubs. If they don't make the playoffs this year, I hope that means the end for Hoyer. Too passive. Cap, I'm calling it this weekend. Bears win against the Vikings. Take that.
They might. Young he was a student of my old girlfriend, Miss Nancy Owens.
From every story I've ever heard, I'm a big Nancy guy. Justin.
I used to be.
I am. Justin, Fuller will talk to the Orioles. I agree with you, man. This is like the hidden gem here of the White Sox hitting coordinator is that he has a relationship with all those young guys.
By the way, the odds from Vegas this morning, I got the email. Where is Justin Verlander's next team, the favorite?
Cubs.
That's correct.
Who gives a shit? He barely pitches anymore.
3-1.
You guys messed it up a few years ago when he actually was good. So
I think your friend's here.
Maybe Green Bay can fund Kevin Warren's new stadium since Green Bay owns the Bears. Don't like that. That's not fun.
Yeah, that's not nice.
Is Notre Dame going to win the college football playoff?
Hell no.
I had to get this one in for Cap.
Notre Dame. You better not play Northern Illinois.
Hey, if you look up and down a lot of these teams, I know they don't have a Northern Illinois loss, but Notre Dame belongs in the playoff right now.
I'm not saying they don't belong in the
They're
playoff.
not going to win. They're not going to win the
not
playoff.
Winning the
national championship, no shot. A couple more here as we wrap things up. Adrian, Cap, I really did not agree with your basketball takes this week. I'm really disappointed with the basketball analysis, but I guess the bad basketball has affected everyone.
I don't know what he's talking about, except that I said they should have drafted Dalton Connect.
Yeah. Again, we are a bring it to us. You like us, hate us. We don't care.
Bring it on.
Here's somebody that agrees with Cap. Turkey is very
so
overrated. Yeah, I don't think just for the record, we do eat beef tenderloin.
Beef tenderloin for the win.
Love me a beef tenderloin, mac and cheese.
Know what FTW means. It's for the win.
Oh, thanks. Good thing we have our guy. Good thing we have a what do you call it? Gen Z on the line?
Yeah.
There she is. Look at her putting her head over her head. Like we got Katie on the backstage.
Katie Langan.
I don't
doesn't know what Happy Gilmore, Jerry.
She does know Happy Gilmore. She does know Happy Gilmore.
Knows Happy
Hey,
Gilmore.
mac and cheese. Tell me your take on that.
Doesn't know old school.
Hey, mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese, I'm not a fan, but my kids like mac and cheese. My grandkids do.
Ira, in their house, no turkey.
Salmon for the vegetarian for tea day. Salmon? I like salmon, not on Thanksgiving.
Nah, pass. Even if I'm
that's bad.
Here's Adrian clarifying your video and tweet about the Dalton Connect. Here you go.
Was that you hated that they went young and for a star. Who's the star? I said with Dalton Connect, their ceiling doesn't change and what they need is a star. Who's the star? Because they tried that nonsense with Patrick Williams, going for the grand slam, as the settler, Arturis, said. And guess what? He sucks. And I've been the most patient at giving him a chance at 23. He stinks. And guess what? You better hope this 18-year-old kid from Hinsdale works out, because Dalton Connect only had 9 threes the other day.
Dude, are you on the staff, Adrian? This team sucks. Like, I don't know.
And the sad thing is, they're too stupid to know that they need to rebuild.
Check out last night's recap. A couple more messages I've seen here we're going to get to. Cap and I are going to make 2 bets on this show. Justin, and I don't disagree with you here, man. Where you at? Justin, the Cubs messed up Madden and Theo. They had gold and let it go. How does Cap feel? Theo Joe was the beef tenderloin.
Theo was done. He was leaving either way. Joe kind of ran its course, man. It is what it is.
And, okay, absolutely young. He's a Hall of Famer, too.
He's not.
That's insane. He's done something that no pitcher in the history of the game has. Cap also thinks Mark Burley is, I don't even want to talk about. Well, that'll be a conversation for another lunch hour.
Mark Burley's not a Hall of Famer.
I didn't say he was a Hall of Famer. This was about Mark Burley and John Lester, folks.
John Lester's better.
All right, so we've already bet earlier in the show that I get picks 34 and up for Garrett Crochet. Anything higher, we'll use the MLB.com list. Is that fair?
Pipeline.
MLB Pipeline.
Yeah.
We will use the MLB Pipeline to make that bet. Indiana, Ohio State. I'm all in on everything Indiana right now. I love the coach. I love the criticism he's getting. He don't give a shit. Cap thinks they roll in Columbus and get smoked.
Yep. Give me Ohio State. Let's go. Dot the I.
Where are we betting? I'm getting the 13.
Oh, see, he's all in on our guys here.
I'm getting the 13.
All in, and you get the 13.
I'm getting the 13 points. Go. All right. We got to wrap things up here. It's been the recap. Look at me. This is, from a comment standpoint, guys, I love it. Love us, hate us, everything. I'll be back tomorrow for the recap lunch hour. 2 bets. Tell me where you stand. I like my side. Let's go. See you tomorrow. Take that.